So, I wanted to talk about what we're seeing on screen right now, and it's the next gen leaks for Xbox. Now, obviously, these are just leaks, and I genuinely just don't have any interest in talking about the leaks. However, I did want to talk about this because with the upcoming Xbox ROG Ally and X variant, with the prices that are floating around, with the powerhouse that this actually is, well, we could be in for a rude awakening. And now that my camera's fixed and in place, at least now I'm looking at you when I'm talking to you. But we also got a little bit of tidbits and news at the end of the video as well, so do make sure to tune into those as well. But here we are with the latest 2026 isn't rumor, it's code signed firmware. And so this thing does exist. Now, whether it's going to be for the next generation Xbox or not is another matter. But the fact is, this AMD Magnus chip does exist. Microsoft are also on quote saying that they will never be beaten on power again until they are, because something else comes out after it comes out and it's just going to be more powerful. But Sony have basically decided that they're not going to be in the power race anymore, because that will potentially push the console out of the reach of the average consumer. So in order to try and keep the costs low, both will probably have digital releases with add-on disk drives for those that actually want it, in order to be able to A, play your older games, and B, for backwards compatibility and preservation. But it also means that it's signaling the kind of end to the physical lifestyle, and digital forever is going to be and hashtag digital forever is going to be a thing. But I think we still have a last generation of some physicals being maintained at least. But when we're looking at this information, the Magnus chip is live in dev kits, 96 CUs. We're looking at over 50 teraflops, an ambitious 4K 120 ray traced, zero AI fakes. Now that basically means that there is going to be no frame gen. This is going to be 4K 120, which, I'll be real with you, the 4090 and the 5090 probably struggle with some of that today. So based on those prices, I call doubt on this, but if they are going down this route, I can say that this Xbox is not going to be cheap. This is going to be an extremely expensive machine. And I feel like that this is definitely going away from what Phil Spencer said when he said, we don't want to see $1,000 consoles, we want to keep it cheaper. But this over here is not going to be cheap. Now, traditionally, Microsoft and Sony do subsidize their consoles because they can sell 1 million controllers in order to make that money back. Sadly, I don't see them subsidizing much this for the next generation, especially if the first console that's coming along is an OEM. They can't, generally subsidize because they have to sell at whatever the cost is. And so if the machine costs them $1,000 to make and manufacture, then it's going to probably add an extra 100 to 200 on top for some profit, and there you have it. It's over $1,000. They say Forza Motorsport already locked at 110 FPS with reflections, silent cooling, 120Hz UI, Game Pass front center. That already goes against the 4K 120, but I guess they're saying maybe it's going to be optimized some in order to hit that 4K 120. But there is no mention of path tracing, which is the next evolution of ray tracing. This to me sounds a little weird, because it's this machine over here, if it is released in its current state, if not made stronger, is going to be almost unattainable for the majority of gamers. And if Sony does release their console at the aforementioned and rumored $500 mark, this machine isn't going to be $500-600, I can assure you. This machine over here is, especially with your 4K 120 ray trace with zero upscaler, you're looking at about 1,000, maybe more. And well, I guess the concern right now is, who is the next generation Xbox for? The dedicated PC gamers, the people who are lush with money. I mean, who's the average consumer is going to look at that and say, I just can't afford it. There's a reason why the Series S was selling so well, because it was so cheap. Now that it's gotten to the price that it's at, no one's really buying it. But at the low price point that it had, people were buying it because it was cheap. It was a nice little secondary console to have underneath your monitor or your TV, considering how small the thing actually is. But it's kind of scary when you're looking at that specification and wondering, well, with the console like a year away at most, how are they going to keep that price low? Now, obviously, we've got the ROGs coming as well, and Microsoft and Asus still haven't announced the price on this. I suspect they're still trying to finalize a good price, with Microsoft trying to subsidize some of that cost in order to keep the price at a lower rate. But all we have right now for that is the kind of leaked price, but nothing official globally has come out of it. And as we've seen with Lenovo Go 2, I believe, with the pre-orders, they kind of not only took their hold off people's money and let them take their money back, but have started cancelling pre-orders just out of the blue, or setting, and for some people, setting it a month later or 2 months later, all the way up to November. So it's kind of weird what's happening there. But those machines have already hit like 13.5k. Those machines have already hit, you know, $1,350. So in what world do you believe that this machine over here is going to be $600, which people are assuming? This is going to be starting from around $800, maybe even $9, and I suspect that's just going to convert into British pounds. And so that's kind of scary, right? The overall cost of this is mental, and it just needs. I see a lot of Xbox fans, you know, celebrating this amazing power that's going to come from this device, and it's great that it actually is. But there will be a cost to this, and it makes me wonder just who this machine is actually designed for. What is the target demographic for this machine? Because it ain't going to be cheap. Make no two mistakes about it. If this machine stays the way it is from the leaks that we're getting in terms of the price, performance, hardware, specs, it ain't going to be cheap. But I did say we have a couple other things that I wanted to touch on before the video ends. So let's have a look at those as well, because they are somewhat important too, you know, little bits of news. So we've got the unicorn state of play that probably will never arrive, but apparently it's going to land sometime this week. Now there is, well, next week. But there is no indication from Sony as of yet. Sony usually announces it like a day or two before. Apparently there's going to be a lot of first-party games from this, so this could be the first state of play that Sony has actually done in probably about 2-3 years. So I know a lot of PlayStation fans are keeping their fingers crossed. I'm just going to call doubt until I actually see it. And even if they do announce it, I'm still going to call doubt, because chances are they're going to cancel it, because let's face it, Sony and state of plays and first-party showcases just isn't a thing anymore. Sonic Racing Crossworld's free demo is available right now on Xbox Series X and S, Steam, Epic, Nintendo Switch, and the PS5. So if you didn't get access to the network test, now's the right time to jump in and give it a try. I have tried it, I've played it, and it's phenomenal. I really like it. So hopefully you'll feel the same. Finally, for those of you that love your zombies in Call of Duty, the 14th of November is going to be where they showcase this. The Battle of Your Soul begins. Black Ops Zombies. Well, 14th of November is when the game releases, I'm guessing. It's going to be on Game Pass, as you can see here. Let's just play this, and I'll just cut the audio for now. Put this full screen. But yeah, it looks like Zombies is back with a vengeance, and it's going to be awesome. We had a great time playing Call of Duty 6 Zombies, and I suspect we're going to have an even better time playing Call of Duty 7 Zombies. So hopefully this is good, because it is an alternative to the whole PvP after you finish the campaign, and we are looking forward to the campaign. But it's nice to see that zombies is still front and center of everything they do with Call of Duty, and they haven't just left it apart. But folks, that's the video. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks so much for watching. If you did, do consider leaving a like, hitting that subscribe button, hitting that bell to stay up to date with all content I release. We are trying to hit 150 likes. We are trying to get this video pushed out by the YouTube algorithm. So if you do enjoy the video, do consider leaving a like, and of course you can also leave the video a hype. This is a new feature on mobile devices, so if you go onto the video and check it out on your mobile phone, you will have the option to hype. You can do 3 of these a week for free, so hopefully you'll consider using one of those hypes on my video. Right folks, that's it. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Remain legend.